Imagine we as a population, as British men, when you look at the history of Britain, imagine we sat by and didn't do anything, and didn't rise up, and didn't come together, and didn't stand up, because we were scared of being called racist. How are you going to stop the Islamisation of Britain when your lead person, picking everything, follows Islam? And that's not a problem. I'm just saying, how are you going to deal with that? And it should be a conversation that people could have. People aren't leaving. It doesn't seem there's even any free speech, unfortunately, under Farage, because people or councillors within the party are getting kicked out for having truthful discussions. Now, that is not what this country needs. It's the wrong moment. The country's ready for this discussion. That's not extreme. I warned him. I will defend myself, mate. So get away from me. Now, what happened is that he follows me for 2 minutes through the whole underpass at St Pancras, and he's blocking my way. He's getting in my way. I get round him in the end to get away. I get to the top of the escalators, and then I think, he kicked me down the stairs. He's coming behind me. So I step back, and as I step back to let him go, he turns. I say, go on, you do one. And as he turns round and comes at me. Now, the worrying thing for me is there is a little audio of this, which people didn't know there's an audio. So there's an audio of him screaming at the top of his voice and aggressively charging. Yeah. Now, at that point, I've got no choice. I've tried everything. I've tried to negotiate. I've tried the peacemaking. At this point, it's him or it's me. Me ended up on the floor, it's him ended up on the floor. Now, unfortunately for him, it's him.
In a fresh wave of controversy, far-right activist Tommy Robinson used a recent live stream to double down on his long-standing claims about what he calls the Islamization of Britain, framing his argument in stark political terms. Robinson, a polarizing figure with a history of provocative statements, told viewers that you can't stop the Islamization of Britain when the head of state is saying everything according to Islam, a remark clearly aimed at the monarchy's recent public engagement with Britain's Muslim community. The live stream came against the backdrop of an incident at St Pancras International Railway Station, which Robinson also addressed. According to his account, he had been attempting to explain a point, though the subject of that discussion was not fully clarified. When another man intervened, Robinson alleges the man repeatedly interrupted and escalated the situation until there was no other way but to defend myself. Robinson's narrative paints the altercation as a matter of self-defense, but it remains unclear how events unfolded from the perspective of other parties involved. British Transport Police have yet to issue a detailed public statement, and no official confirmation has been given as to whether an investigation is underway. His comments on Islamization are in keeping with the combative, anti-Islam rhetoric that has defined much of Robinson's public career. Supporters argue he is saying what others are afraid to say about the cultural and political shifts in Britain, while critics accuse him of fueling Islamophobia and inflaming social tensions for political gain. The St Pancras episode, meanwhile, adds a combustible personal angle to the political firestorm. Robinson has a history of high-profile confrontations in public spaces, many of which have been captured on video and widely debated online. Whether this latest clash was an unprovoked interruption or an avoidable escalation will likely become another flashpoint in Britain's ongoing debate over free speech, religious tolerance, and the limits of political activism. For now, Robinson's latest statements show no sign of backing away from controversy, a strategy that continues to keep him at the center of Britain's culture wars, even as it deepens the divide between his staunch supporters and his fiercest critics.
Well, Michelle, we are here still in Altrincham, as you rightly say. And you can see here behind me the original protest against the migrants in this hotel where we were just speaking from. But here on GB News, we do like to have some balance. So we've now come to the other side of the road. We've crossed that police boundary, and we're going to try and speak to some of the counter-protesters here, which could be a little bit dicey. But we'll see how we get on. Let's see if we can get any of them to speak to us. Excuse me, ladies. I just wondered if I I could ask you. Sorry?
Your press lanyard.
I haven't got it with me. It's over there. Just no problem. No problem. Just take a look at this lovely sign. Very interesting, Michelle. We'll just keep moving. They're asking for my press credentials, which I unfortunately am not carrying with me right now. Excuse me. Do you mind if I ask why you're here at this counter protest? We're from GB News. No, that's absolutely fine. No problem at all. Excuse me, though. Sorry, excuse me. Do you mind me asking, sir, why you're here today?
See your NUJ badge?
I haven't got my NUJ with me, I'm afraid. They're very tight on credentials here on this particular counter-protest. They've asked me to go away. Of course, we do have a right to be here, Michelle, so we will continue to try and speak to some people. There's a lady here on a microphone. Oh, lots of cars beeping. There's a sign here, Salford Stand Up to Racism. I wonder if I could ask any of the people with this sign. Excuse me, sir. I'm just being harangued here. Oh dear. Oh, it's become. I'm just going to get on the other side of the police line, Michelle. The police have.
your side.
Excuse me. What do you mean? What do you mean our side, sir? Whoa! Oh! Ow! I've just. Michelle, I've just been hit by a placard on the head by one of these counter-protesters. We are just trying to give them the opportunity. Excuse me, ma'am. We are, of course, just trying to give them the opportunity to have their side. This is our security guard behind us. Police are now having to step in. We have now been assaulted by some of these counter-protesters. Oh, dearie me, that flag's being lowered onto us. Thank you for that, sir. Lovely song. Excellent choice. We're just going to step out, Michelle, because, as I said, things have gotten rather dicey. No one here willing to speak to us and give us their side of the story.
Placard. That's one for the books. I mean, what do we even say to that, ladies and gents? We're here. We're trying to present both sides of the protest to you. You've got eyes, ears, and common sense. You can make your own minds up on what you are seeing and what you are hearing.
Tensions in Altrincham boiled over this afternoon as GB News correspondent Sophie Reaper was swarmed by counter-protesters and struck in the head with a placard while attempting to report from the scene. The incident occurred during ongoing demonstrations in the town centre, where rival groups had gathered in a charged political climate. Reaper, accompanied by a camera crew, was attempting to approach demonstrators to gather comments when a crowd of counter-protesters surrounded her. In video footage released by GB News, the journalist is seen being jostled before one individual swings a placard that appears to connect with the side of her head. Reaper is visibly startled, but continues to stand her ground. According to GB News, none of the counter-protesters present were willing to be interviewed on camera, with Reaper stating on air, "No one here is willing to speak to us and give us their side of the story." The refusal to engage, coupled with the aggressive physical behavior, raises questions about the willingness of some protest groups to engage in open debate, even as they take to the streets to make their views heard. Local police have not yet confirmed whether any arrests have been made in connection with the incident. However, press freedom advocates are already warning that physical attacks on journalists, regardless of political alignment, undermine the democratic principle of a free press and the public's right to information. What remains clear is that the Altrincham confrontation was more than just a heated exchange. It was a breakdown in the basic civility that should underpin political protest. In a climate where distrust of the media runs high, the line between dissent and outright hostility is becoming dangerously blurred.